Hello, everybody, and welcome to Racing from Delaware Park. I'm Rich Glazier, and we're going to take a look at Saturday's races. I don't know if I ever told you this, but it never rains on Saturday when Delaware Park runs live racing. And once again, you know, I hear the weather reports in Philly, another wet weekend, another wet weekend. Well, we haven't had a wet Saturday since we began, and today not only was not wet, it was spectacular. So the weather was perfect today. The main track was a perfect fast, and the turf course was a perfect firm. So everything was perfect today, and that's a good thing. And we had a 9-race card. I'm very interested to see how we did handle-wise, because Saturdays is usually our slowest handle day of the week because so many other tracks are running. But today we had a stakes race, a good one, and 3 turf races. So we'll see if they boosted the handle better than we usually do on Saturday. Had some visitors today, distinguished visitors. James and Angie Weiler from Cincinnati. Now they emailed us in February that they'd be coming on a honeymoon run here in the middle of June, and they're going to stop at Delaware Park. And sure enough, they took a Greyhound from Ohio and then a train to Delaware Park, and they were having a good old time. And we got to meet them, myself and John Kern, and I wish them the best. Good luck in their marriage, good luck in their travels to all the different racetracks. I think they said they're going to Parks tomorrow, so they're hitting as many as they can while they're in the area. So James and Angie, nice to meet you. Hope you had a good time here at Delaware Park, and you can watch this on YouTube to your heart's content. All right, now Bungie told me they were too tough for him on Monday, so he's not going to make a pick. One race didn't have enough good ones and the other one had too many, so he's being cautious, I think, until he gets into the black, and then he'll maybe take a few shots. But no Bungie for Monday, all right? All right, I think now we are ready to get to the field for the opener. So here they are. I'd say the 2 was a scratch, and that left 5 to go. 1 mile once around the oval. And here's the golden tones of John Kern with the call.
And they're off. 77 Willow gets away well, but quickly joined by, up on the outside, that's Wild Scat Blue, far outside, Modern Medicine as they race into that first turn. Wild Scat Blue leads it by about a length. Modern Medicine up on the outside. 77 Willow has the inside track. Royal Marine now angles off the rail to avoid running up on the heels of the horse in front. And the trailer is a Moticon, but only about 3.5 lengths separates the field as they make their way around the first turn. Opening quarter in a cozy 24-4. And the fractions being set on the front end by Wild Scat Blue. Modern Medicine is right there in second. Length and further back to 77 Willow, Royal Marine. And up on the outside, a Moticon. They're well grouped as they make their way down the back stretch. And on the front end, it's still Wild Scat Blue by a length over Modern Medicine. 77 Willow continues to ride the rail. Royal Marine in between horses and a Moticon up on the outside. Still all grouped within about 3 lengths. After a half in, 48 seconds flat. They make their way to the turn. Wild Scat Blue on the inside. Modern Medicine on the outside. Now Modern Medicine under a drive. Now sticks a neck in front. Wild Scat Blue trying to battle back. Now it's about 4 lengths further back to a Moticon who takes over third. Then Royal Maroon, he's flattened out. And the trailer, 77 Willow, 2-horse affair right now as they head for home. The 6 furlongs in 112 flat. Wild Scat Blue on the inside. Modern Medicine on the outside are still going at it. Head-to-head, 5 lengths further back. A Moticon rallies in the third. Just over 16th to go. Wild Scat Blue regains the advantage and begins to edge away. away. Wild Scat Blue will take the opener. Modern Medicine getting second. Emoticon third.
Wild Scat Blue taking the opener. For it made sense to bet on Cintron. Daniel Cintron for Gerald Bennett. Seems to be winning a race a day of late. And the owner of Robeson Thoroughbreds, 460, 260, 220. Modern Medicine with Pinot was second, 340, 260. And Emoticon with Cedeno, 220. 5-6 exact, $14. 5-6-4 try, 26.20. There was no superfecta in that race. On we go to race number 2 on Saturday. And there you see this one's on the turf. So big field naturally. Scratch the 5. Here is Mr. Kern.
And they're off. Linda's Nakia breaks well on the inside. Taxable Goods, joined by Kulisaja King. They vie for that lead into that first turn. Kulisaja King on the inside. Taxable Goods on the outside. Now Tiz Creeley settles nicely into third. Benevolent Prince, the favorite, saves all the ground with the rail in fourth. Then Linda's Nakia and Cibola. Then a gap of 5 lengths to Belgiorno and Mr. Geo. As they make their way around the first turn, opening quarter goes in 23-3, and they straighten away. And Kulisaja King on the inside, Taxable Goods on the outside, are just heads apart. 2 lengths to Tiz Creeley on the outside, Benevolent Prince, they're racing as a pair. Then a gap of another 3.5 lengths, another pair. Cibola to the outside of Linda's Nakia. 8 lengths further back, and they're paired off in the back, Mr. Geo and Belgiorno. They've gone the half in 46-4. It's a good solid tempo being set on the front end as they race into the turn. Now Taxable Goods disposes of Kulisaja King as Tiz Creeley takes up the chase in second. Favorite Benevolent Prince on the move now in third. Then a gap of 2.5 lengths further back to Cibola and Linda's Nakia. They've got 3/8 to go, and Taxable Goods the catch. Tiz Creeley chasing in second. 3 lengths further back, Benevolent Prince has to do more as they turn for home. The 6 furlongs in 1:12-2, and they've got Taxable Goods to catch. Still leads it by over 2 lengths. Getting out, but still clear. On the inside, Tiz Creeley behind that one. Then a gap of 4 lengths to Benevolent Prince. It's a 2-horse affair. Taxable Goods trying to fend off Tiz Creeley, and Taxable Goods holding sway. Wins it by 1 3/4. Tiz Creeley getting second, Benevolent Prince third. Looked like Cibola got fourth.
Taxable Goods taking that one, and it's a sin if you didn't bet on Cintron. Lynn Ashby, usually you see Lynn in the winner's circle for the Arabians. Here she trains a turf-winning thoroughbred. Congratulations, and her husband Mark is the owner. $7, $4, $2.20. Tiz Creeley was second with DeCarlo. Oh, good to see Chris DeCarlo on the grounds, 580, 240. And third was Benevolent Prince with Cedeno, 210. The exacta, 3180, the try, 5260, double, 2780, and the super with the 9, 124.40. Claim. Yes, claim person. Well, nice of you to wake up. That was in the first race, and it was William Downing claimed the 6th in that first race. All right. Now we're all caught up as we go to race 3. Here's a look at the field for the third on a beautiful Saturday. Scratch the 2. Here's the action.
And they're off. Pretty even start for them all. Toward the outside, Rumblin' Kyle alarming the great tippet between them. Adisto Bay toward the inside, going to settle nicely in that 4th spot as they make their way to that first turn. It's the gray tippet in front by a neck. Alarming has the rail and 3 wide around the bend. That's Rumblin' Kyle. Getting out of Disto Bay, lost some ground around that turn. No one near him. Then a gap of about 6 lengths further back to the Stars, My Man Dan and Abtal. As they reach the backstretch, opening quarter goes in 23-1. And on the front end, it's Alarming on the inside, Tippet on the outside. Rumbling Cow now settles in the third. 2 lengths further back to Edisto Bay. A gap of 7 more to the Stars, My Man Dan, and the trailer is Abtal. At least a dozen or more lengths separates the field top to bottom as they approach the half-mile marker. And Alarming on the inside, Tippett on the outside. 2 more to Rumbling Kyle, length and a half further back to Edisto Bay. Still a large gap of 8 lengths to My Man Dan, to the Stars, and Abtal. Looks like a 4-horse affair right now as they cut the half in. 46 and 3. Into the turn they go. On the front end, Tippett now edging away by 2 lengths. Rumbling Cow trying to take up the chase. Alarming's trying to hang in there. Edisto Bay is going evenly. The rest are far back. Around the bend, it's Tippett they've got to catch. Opens up 3 or 4 in the field. Rumbling Cow chasing. On the inside, Alarming, followed by Edisto Bay as they turn for home with Tippett to catch. The 6 in 112 flat. Tippett in front by 3. Alarming, Rumbling Cow, Edisto Bay on the far outside. It's still Tippett getting weary, but still has a comfortable lead of 2.5 lengths. On the outside, Rumbling Cow's trying to run that one down. On the inside, it's Alarming, but it's going to be Tippett to hold on here. Tippett and Carol Cedeno by 3.5. Alarming and Rumbling Cow in a battle for second and third. I think Alarming won that.
Tippett gets it for CC. Carol Cedeno, trainer Scott Lake, they had a good week here with a number of wins. The owner, Gold Star Racing, 643, 62, 60. Alarming was second with Gonzalez, 342, 20. And Rumbling Kyle was third with Rodriguez, 220. Exacta 2480, the try 4480, the double 2980, the pick 3 4670, and the super with the 4 4160. Back to the turf we go for the 4th race. And here's the field. All the alsos were scratched, 9 through 14. Turf is firm.
And they're off. Atlantic Blue being hustled between horses, and Viserion right alongside of that. And those two are going to go at it in the early going, head to head. Up on the outside, Ms. Bernie. So Who's Back has the rail right there. That's nailed it in between horses as they make their way into that first turn. Viserion on the inside, Atlantic Blue on the outside. Now Viserion gives way a little bit to avoid a duel around the bend. Atlantic Blue leads it by 2. Viserion settles in the second. Same gap now to Ms. Bernie and nailed it with the rail. 2 lengths further back to Pop Rock's Lady on the outside of So Who's Back. Then comes Wilburn's Princess. My Only One is at the back of the field as they reach the opening quarter in 23 and 3 and head down the backstretch. On the front end, Atlantic Blue by 3 parts. Viserion is right there, stalking in second, 2 lengths to Nailed It, and Ms. Bernie. Then a gap of 2 more to So Who's Back. My One and Only moves up on the outside as they make their way into the turn, followed by Pop Rock's Lady in between horses, and Wilburn's Princess at the tail. Half 47 and 3, under a half mile to go. And on the outside, Viserion sticks ahead in front. Atlantic Blue trying to battle back, then a gap of 3 lengths further back to Nailed It, followed by, up on the outside, My One and Only trying to kick it in as they turn for a home, and Viserion has put away the competition. It's Viserion cutting the 6 in 113, leading it by about 4 lengths, and no threats around. Nailed It now in the second is going after that leader, but time is running out. A late run from My One and Only. It's going to be Viserion to spring the upset here for Carol Cedeno. Viserion wins it by about 4 lengths. Nailed It getting second. My One and Only third. So Who's Back up for
and
fourth?
Viserion does it. Offspring of Miz and Mast. You don't usually see them do well on the turf, but this one got the job done. For CC, Carol Cedeno, a double. For Francis Abbott, the third. And the Blue Streak Racing LLC. 2620, 1080, 760. Second was Nailed It with Pino, 420, 480. Third was Any One and Only, My One and Only, with Uski, 740. Exacta 127.40 the try, 937.60, double 49.60, pick 3 144.90, pick 4 646.20, and with the 1 the super 2,000 $666.60. Big price there in the super. All right, here's the field for the fifth. Back on the main track. And pick out one you like. Here's Mr. Kern.
And they're off. Montrachet breaks well, as does Act Now on the outside. They vie for that early lead. Act Now from the far outside, trying to cross over, and does so. Gets that lead into the turn. Montrachet getting well off the rail in second, followed by Aiden's Ragdoll toward the inside of Afar. Next in line, that's Our Way to Escape, and March Wind brings up the rear as they make the way around the first turn. Act Now leads it by 3 parts over Montrachet. Then 2 lengths further back to Aiden's Ragdoll under a nice hold in third. Then a gap of 3 to March Wind with the rail, followed by Our Way to Escape and Afar. Opening quarter in 24 flat as they move down the backstretch. Act Now leads it by a length. Montrachet is right there stalking in second. Now it's about 4 lengths to Aiden's Ragdoll going evenly in third. Another 4-length gap to Our Way to Escape. Then March Wind and the trailer is Afar. They quickly spread out over a dozen, maybe 13 or 14. Separates the top from the bottom. Hey, if that was a speedy quarter, 46-3. They went 22-3 that quarter. And Act Now still fending off Montrachet as they race into the turn. Aiden's Ragdoll could benefit from that dueling duo. Then a gap of 5 lengths to Our Way to Escape. The rest are far back. 3 horses across the track now with 3/8 to go. Montrachet to the front, but Aiden's Ragdoll, a patient third now, going after that leader as they reach the quarter-mile marker. They've gone the 6 furlongs in 1:11-2, heading for home. Aiden's Ragdoll now takes over. Montrachet has nothing left to respond. Our Way to Escape rallies on the outside, a furlong from home. It's Aiden's Ragdoll in command by 4 lengths. Our Way to Escape rallies in a second. Montrachet now a weary third. It's all Aiden's Ragdoll got the perfect setup and capitalized for Yomar Torres. Won it by about 4.5. Our Way to Escape getting second. Montrachet third, followed by Act
And it
Now.
was Aiden's Ragdoll to take that one. Yomar Torres for Claudio Gonzalez, another training win. Joseph Bessiker, the owner. 520, 3 even, 210. Our Way to Escape with Suarez, 380, 240. And Montrachet with Cinteno, 260. Exact 1820, the try, 6660. 2-2 Amtrak double, 178.40. Pick 3, 152.40. Super with the 4, 223.10. Let's look at the field for the 6th. This was a good race here. Nice turf race. Good connections. Nice breeding. Oh, and this was Bungie's pick was in here too. The 7, Asciano, was Bungie's pick. You see if he can stop the losing streak at 2. Scratch the 11. Here we go on a firm turf, race 6.
And they're off. Between horses, History Made breaks well, goes for that lead. Down toward the inside, that's Aura Rose. Stella B up on the far outside. Emelina coming off that shoe quickly into contention as they come by the finish line the first time. And Emelina from the far outside gets a slight advantage. Toward the inside, that's Aura Rose now under a nice hold in second. History Made is there between horses. She Doesn't Mind caught 3 wide. Asciano caught 4 wide. Behind that group, Stella B saving all the ground. And Old Florida right alongside of her. Then 2 lengths further back to Madame Milan under a nice hold. Then a gap of a length further back to Furiosa. And the trailer is Bidding Circle. Opening quarter in 23-3 as they straighten away with Emelina on the front end. Leads it by about a length. She Doesn't Mind up there, the favorite on the outside, in a good spot in second. Followed by down toward the inside, that's Aura Rose. Then he got before to Asciano and Old Florida. Up on the outside, Madame Milan now let loose. Toward the inside, History Made. Then comes Stella B, Bidding Circle, and Furiosa is at the back about 10 lengths off the lead. Cover the half in 47-3. Half mile to go. On the front end is still Emelina, favorite. She Doesn't Mind stalking in second. Aura Rose is still right there in third. Old Florida and Madame Milan both trying to rally in tandem. The rest are far back. They've got 3/8 to go. Emelina, and she doesn't mind. Up on the outside, Madame Milan trying to kick it in as they turn for home on the far outside. It's still Emelina digging in. Madame Milan up on the outside. She doesn't mind between horses, followed by Old Florida. A late run on the far outside from Furiosa, but Madame Milan forges to the front with a 16th to go. It's Madame Milan got the perfect trip and now begins to draw away. Old Florida in the second late rally from Furiosa, but it's going to be Madame Milan to win this one for Danny Cintron by 4 over Old Florida. Then came
How about
Furiosa.
that? Madame Milan taking that one. Daughter of Bernardini winning on the turf. Made sense to bet on Centeno, a double Danny Centeno for Arnaud Delacour in the Lyell Stables. $12.60, $665. Old Florida was second with Castrenzi, $15.80, $9.20. Furioso with DiCarlo, $5.60. Here's the exotic prices. The exact, the $174.40. Try $760, $760. That double paid $43.20. Pick 3, $297.80. Super, $1,869.30. Takes us to our seventh and the feature of the day. It's the $100,000 Obeah, a prep for the Delaware Handicap. Scratched the 2, 3, 8, and 9, but still had a nice competitive field to go. You might be seeing some of these coming up in the Delaware Handicap July 14th. By the way, Obeah Stakes, who's Obeah? She won the Delaware Handicap in 1969 and in 1970. 2 straight years she won it with the Christiana Stables. Mrs. Lunger. Leroy Moyers rode 69 winner. John L. Rotz, the Hall of Famer, rode the winner in 1970. So let's see who wins the Obeah Stakes.
And they're off in the Obeah Stakes. Pretty good start for them all toward the inside. Manley breaks well. Trace of Grace is there. Up on the outside, You Know Too. Tecalita tucked in behind that group. Up on the outside, Teresa Z. Power of Snunner looking for a spot. Hasn't found one yet. As they cross the finish line the first time, it's Trace of Grace on the inside. You Know Too on the outside. About 3 lengths further back to the gray Manley with the rail. Tecalita the favorite right alongside. Up there 3 wide, Teresa Z. Then 2 to Power of Snunner. Sneaky Betty. And Sweet Maggie May is the trailer as they make their way around the first turn. Opening quarter went in 23-4. They reached the backstretch. 6 furlongs to go, and long shot Trace of Grace by a length over You Know Too. Mannerly rides the rail. Tecalita a neck further back. 3 wide still, Teresa Z. Power of Snunner, last year's winner, is going along in 6th as they move down the backstretch, followed by Sneaky Betty, and 5 lengths further back to Sweet Maggie May. It's Trace of Grace showing the way as they approach the half-mile marker, opening half in a rather comfortable 48 flat. Manley toward the inside. You Know Too up on the outside. Tecalita's right there behind him. Still 3 wide, Teresa Z. 2 lengths to Power of Snunner. Has her work cut out. Sneaky Betty on the inside in the trailer. Sweet Maggie May into the bend they go. On the front end, it's still Trace of Grace, the 6 and 12 and 1. Right alongside, You Know Too. Teresa Z's had a wide trip the whole way, but she's making a run for it. Tecalita's dropping back a bit. Sneaky Betty rallies from the back of the pack. A quarter to go. Teresa Z and You Know Too. Sneaky Betty surging on the far outside, bidding for the upset as they turn for home. On the outside, it's Teresa Z. On the inside, You Know Too is running a big one in her debut in 2018. Next in line, it's Sneaky Betty. A late run from Tecalita, but it's too little and too late. Teresa Z edging away. Teresa Z. Danny Cintron wins the Obeah. Looks like You Know Too holds on a second over Sneaky Betty.
And a pretty impressive win for Teresa Z. Made sense to bet on Centeno. 3rd win for Danny Cintron today. This one, Anthony Morgada for the St. Elias Stable. 965.20, 4 even. 2nd, You Know Too for Cintron. $7, 5.20. And Sneaky Betty for Torres, $7.80. Exact is 64.40 to try, 904. 39.80 for the double. The pick 3, $93. Super with the pick 5 with the 11, 12,638.90, and the Super 1,357.20. So the Obeah in the books. Might see her back in the Del Cap. Last two are for the Arabians. This is the field for the 8th race. No scratches. Here's John.
Royally Bred also is in. We're set, and they are off. It's a pretty good start for them all. Richson away well. Up on the outside, Tiffany's Dream. Down toward the inside, Ms. Door. Those three across the track in the first furlong. Then a gap of about 7 lengths further back to RB Wicked Rich, the Reefer toward the inside. Royally Bred, alongside of that group, has about 9 lengths to make up in the early going. Then comes Pick Me and Days of All. They're dueling down the backstretch, and Tiffany's Dream takes over. Opening quarter, 24-1. That is speedy for the Arabians as they make their way to the turn. Tiffany's Dream, hard used to get that lead, but has it now by 2.5. Richton racing second. Ms. Doors third. 10 lengths further back to Royally Bred, followed by RB Wicked Rich. Then comes Zarifa, Pick Me, and Days of All. Tiffany's Dream is opening up on the field. Has a lead of about 7 lengths now. Chasing in second, Richton, followed by Ms. Door. Royally Bred has 10 to make up, and time is running out as they turn for home. Tiffany's Dream cut the half in 50-2. How much does she have left down the lane? She's in front by 6 or 7. Royally Bred is now after. Tiffany's Dream is shortening stride dramatically. Still has a 5-length lead, but Royally Bred is coming with every stride. Tiffany's Dream needs that wire. Royally Bred is charging up on the outside. Here comes Royally Bred. Tiffany's Dream is exhausted. Royally Bred, it's going to be a photo. Oh, maybe
Wow,
Royally Bred got up
did
over
not give up
exhausted.
and got
Tiffany's
up for Kirsten. Race was a Swan. Lynn Ashby, a double for the Cree Run Enterprises. 342.22.10. Tiffany's Dream ran out of gas there. 260.260. Days of All with Betancourt 520. Exact the 780, 57.80, and the double 1860. Pick 3, 81.40. 372.20 for the pick 4 Super. 81.40. Here's the field for the 9th and final. And there were a couple scratches. 4 and 5. Here's the nightcap.
We're set. And they're off. To the inside, Smoke and Fire away well, goes right for that lead. Omega up into second, followed by Marzan. Entry and Andaka's a length further back, and Big Eye, your trailer, as they race down the back stretch. Smoke and Fire leads it by a half. Omega's right there, pressuring in second. The entries running third and fourth of Marzan and Andaka. 3 lengths to Big Eye, the trailer, as they make their way into the turn. Smoke and Fire leads it now by a length and a quarter over Omega. Right there, that's Marzan. Then comes Andaka, who's dropped back a bit, and Big Eye continues the trail as they race into the turn. Smoke and Fire going well on the front end. Opens up 2.5 lengths on Omega. Marzan alongside of that one, followed by Andaka, and far back to Big Eye. As they hit the top of the stretch, it's all Smoke and Fire, and Gregorio Rivera in command as they head for home. Smoke and Fire leads it by 5. Marzan's on the outside second. Omega's drop back in third. With a furlong to go, Smoke and Fire has no worries now. Rivera takes a look under his shoulder, and he can coast home from here. It's going to be Smoke and Fire to win this one.
Smoke and Fire taking that one easily. 380 to win. And here you'll see all the rest of the order of finish. And while you're looking at that, I can tell you the handle today. We did it. Those 3 turf races in the stake, 1,097,768. That's all the time we have. Next live racing day is Monday. Thanks for watching, everybody, and good night.